More and more, the world is becoming very technological. Everything is becoming digital. More and more companies are using so many computers that they need to protect themselves. As you know, you need to monitor everything that is happening in your technical space. Just like when you build your house, you would want to monitor, have CCTVs everywhere, monitor everything about your house. It's the same way that you need to monitor and know what is happening in your information systems. And that is what the SOC is. And that is the service that we are selling, the SIM as a service. So all alerts, all events, anything that happens, you will be alerted. We will help you get alerts and manage and ensure that nothing, no risks, no cyber crime, nothing hits your environment. So basically, that is what we were trying to achieve today. Sometimes we wait until a cyber attack hits us before we take action. Okay, and we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful indeed. Cybercrime is real, and a lot of companies are suffering huge losses. Okay, but sometimes because of the seemingly embarrassment, they keep quiet and they won't say that, oh, we've been hit. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of companies are being hit regularly. So our objective is to prevent it. So we want companies to come to us and we will help them ensure that their companies are protected and secure technologically. For individuals, yes, we have advice that we give individuals. We do awareness and things like that for individuals, yes. So if you go to our website, you will find information there that would help you protect yourself as an individual. One thing that I would say, don't click on things by heart. You know, these messages come on WhatsApp and say, so if you're not sure, don't click. Even if you are sure, check from the person who sent it to you first. That did you send me this message? And then we should stop clicking things by heart.
As we embark on this journey to help secure your systems, as we enter Cyber Awareness Month, make sure you follow these 3 steps. You stop, think, and connect. If somebody called you to ask for your PIN, somebody sent you a link to click, anything you have to do, especially when it comes to your online activities, you have to stop. You have to think and you have to connect, because there's no need to rush and jeopardize your systems. Stop, think, and connect. It could be a hacker trying to get into your system. So make sure you always stop, you think, you connect. Do you think before you connect?
To discuss about the SOC as a service, and so during this time we educated the companies that presented here on how they can protect themselves, how they can subscribe to the SOC as a service. We started with the type of services that we have. Managing SOC based on the cloud and an on-prem environment. So we educated companies. So we want every company that is out there to understand that they can have the SOC as a service where InnoSlam provides, and then we create that security for them. And this gives them the peace of mind, because if somebody gets through to the accounts, like their payment systems or their critical infrastructure, they destroys everything. And so we are representing a company that can handle their data and interface with the Bank of Ghana systems to making sure that the data are secured and then protected.
You know, when we talk about cybersecurity, one key component when it comes to cybersecurity, from the governance point of view, from the risk point of view, and also from the compliance, is what we know known as GRC. GRC is a very key component in anything that we do. And once you have a good GRC established, what you do is that you help to manage your risk exposure within the organization. So in general terms, what we are advising companies to do is that they need to take governance, risk, and compliance seriously. They need to take governance and risk compliance seriously in managing the risk exposure within the organization. When we talk about governance, risk, and compliance, is what we call a particular standard. Some people call it a framework. Okay, framework is a big word, but I would say that it's a particular standard that will guide you in managing risk within your organization. We can have governance in cybersecurity, we can have governance in management, we can have governance in finance, you can have governance in certain categories that you can choose to place the governance and risk compliance in there. But the governance aspect talks about how we can manage, or how companies are being managed, or companies following the rules and regulations that have been set up by your organization. The risk component talks about ways and means that we need to manage risk, and also the compliance aspect talks about we complying to the rules and regulations within the country. But you shouldn't allow this thing to operate in silos. What you have to do is that you need to bring these three components together for you to manage the risk exposure within your organization. In simple terms, that's the governance, risk, and compliance. I mean, this thing is very pervasive in our part of the country. What I would say is that the key thing that we need to do is that we need to take communication very seriously. A lot of awareness needs to be done. If we don't communicate to the general public the do's and don'ts on how you can protect yourself, it means that they'll fall victim to these kind of bad people that are trying to manipulate them. So I would say that communication, let's do a lot of awareness, let's educate the public on the do's and don'ts so that they can protect themselves. The systems are well protected. I mean, it's we, the individuals, that we need to know the do's and don'ts to ensure that we don't fall victim to this kind of malicious people that are trying to take advantage of us here.